Okay, we are live.
我哋咧就上咗先啦。
Hey everyone, hello.
Hello， 大家好。
Hey David and Kat.
Hi David 同 Kat， 好嗎？
Hey Janice.
Hello，你哋好嘛？
非常好啊。
We're good. Yep.
Yep.
Busy day,
好
busy
忙
week
嘅。
for my wife.
係啊。
Working overtime every night
係啊，
This
好
week.
忙嘅一個星期啦，好充實啊，太
and
充實啦。
still looking great.
係希望啦。Yeah.
Wait.
How about you
look
guys?
good.
What's going on?
Nothing much.
What's going? Nothing much.
Nothing much, everything. I spent the afternoon with David and Kat discussing,
Yeah, long time no see, huh?
yeah,
好耐冇
discussing all
見
this。
Just
kids
talking.
stuff in our venue.
係啊，咁啊 Richard 其實咧啱啱一個下晝花咗成個下晝時間同 David 同 Kat 啦，咁喺度開會啦，就傾關於我哋主一學兒童主一學嘅事情啦。
Yeah, so lots going on in our world. Some big announcements coming this week. So make sure you're around on Sunday.
係啦，咁喺我哋個世界裏邊咧，話好多好正、好興奮、好大嘅事情發生緊啦。咁嚟緊呢個星期日啦，我哋就有個重要嘅消息去宣佈啦，所以你千祈唔好錯過咯喎。星期日係睇實我哋啦。
Yeah, big stuff happening.
係啊，好重要嘅事情將會發生。
Yeah.
Well, let's get right into it. Hey.
係啦，咁我哋
Yeah.
不宜遲啦，咁啊開始啦
事。不宜遲。
I got to change the title. It says part 4, but it's actually
Part
Part
five 係啊。
係咩去到五
咁啊，
啊？
等我哋轉一轉今日嗰個嘅係啦，啱咗啦，今次係第5部分啊，我哋講婚姻嘅第5部分。
some people saying hi. We've got Maggie saying hi, and my friend Chin from the Philippines saying hi
我
as
哋有
well.
啲朋友啦，同我哋咧打招呼啦，有我哋熟悉嘅 Maggie 啦，同埋我喺菲律賓嘅朋友叫阿 Chin 喎，佢都睇緊我哋，
Great to have you guys.
哦，
非常好啊，有你哋喺度。
So what are we doing, guys? Why are we here on a Thursday night?
所以我哋喺度做緊啲咩咧 ？David and Kat， 逢星期4點解我哋都會喺度見到大家咧？
我哋傾下啲婚姻啦、關係
We're
啦。
talking all about marriage tonight.
Oh,
係啊，
That's right. But we've been doing this relationship series on a Thursday night. If you're here for the first time with us, welcome.
咁啊，我哋逢星期四咧都有關於一啲呢啲嘅關係上嘅一啲嘅 topic 去講啦。咁星期四晚咁我哋都會喺度見大家嘅。
And so we've gone through from single friends to all the way up until now the
Yeah.
marriage.
係啦，咁啊其實由開始單身啦，直到係拍拖啦，一直去到而家啦，咁終於都結婚啦。
終於都結婚。
Finally.
結婚。
But
Finally，
marriage, you'll be wondering why this is part 5.
咁你可能奇怪婚姻都好咁多嘢講嘅咩？可以講到第五集。
Because this is a huge topic.
咁當然啦，就係因為婚姻先係最重要噶嘛，咁所以係講耐啲都唔怕嘅。
We want people to have awesome marriages.
Yeah，
我哋都係有好多婚姻嘅朋友喺當中啦。
We wanted people to have awesome marriages.
我哋想有朋友，每個朋友都有一個。
what's going on?
He said, what did you say? We have lots of married friends. Give him some praise, guys.
係啊
Had a big week.
Is that a big week?
yeah，
Yeah.
big day 咧
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been,
，nothing much 啊嘛。
Thursday night. Yeah. But
Yeah.
we're excited to
Maybe
talk
that.
about part 5.
冇錯啦，我哋好興奮啦，今日同大家分享啦呢個第五集。
Yeah. So if you're new with us, just to let you know, we're actually in what we call the Blue Book, which is basically a compilation of studies, topical studies.
咁我哋用咩咧？我哋會用一個資源咧，就喺我哋嘅Apps 喺 Lifehouse 嘅 Apps 入邊藍書嘅第7課呢個關於婚姻嘅，你
Yeah.
可以隨意 download 呢個 Apps。
Yeah, you can download our Lifehouse app.
Yep.
係可以 download。
It's free.
免費㗎。
Who loves free things? That's right.
免費係最好啦，係咪？
And yeah, so download the app, and then when you get in, you will see on the menu, you click on the Blue Book, and then
冇錯，你睇到之後入咗去就揀藍書啦，藍書再進入呢個婚姻咧，就見到我哋講呢個嘅 chapter。
And then click on hashtag relationship goals.
咁就 under 呢個嘅relationship 嗰個範疇啦，關係啦。
And we're in chapter 5.
7.
係啊
7.
Chapter 7.
And we've been
第七章
through,
啊
for those of you watching, we've been through all the chapters in detail in the never-ending relationship series. So go back and watch our YouTube playlist. It's huge.
係啊，如果係新嚟嘅朋友咧，其實我哋喺之前嗰啲唔同關係上面嘅階段咧，我哋都講咗好多集噶啦。咁所以咧，好鼓勵你哋喎，翻去我哋咧YouTube 上面啦，我哋有一個 playlist 嘅，咁你就可以喺嗰度咧睇翻我哋以前嗰啲嘅集數啊。
So if you're dating or, in some other stage of a relationship before marriage, there's a section for you.
係啦，咁所以無論你係拍緊拖啊，或者係其他關係上面其他嘅階段嘅話咧，都會總有啲嘢係啱你去睇嘅喎。咁所以你記得就去翻我哋以前嘅我哋嘅 playlist 嗰度睇翻我哋以前嘅片段啦。
I just want to say a quick hi to my friend Enoch, who's watching from Thailand.
咁我都好想咧，好快咧，
Thailand.
同我個朋友啦喺泰國遠度喺泰國睇緊我哋嘅朋友 Enoch 嘅係打個招呼㗎。
Awesome. Well, just welcome any friends who have joined us. But
歡迎啦，每一位咧收睇我哋啦。
in the marriage chapter,
咁喺嗰個嘅婚姻嗰個課題裏邊咧，
we've been going through the tips for marriage throughout the last however many weeks.
咁咪已經係講咗好多關於唔同嘅題目噶啦。
But right now, today we're going to focus on tip number 3.
咁咧就今日就去到呢個嘅第3個題目啦。
And actually 3, 4 and 5 are pretty much interrelated.
咁你見到咧3、4、5咧，其實都係好近似嘅一啲嘅題目嚟嘅。
And so tip number 3 for marriage is to keep pure.
係啦，
simply.
咁保持純潔啦，呢個係今日我哋會提到嘅一樣。
Yeah. So let's talk about purity for a second, hey?
係啊，咁就我哋可以講下呢個嘅題目啦。
Now purity is, we talk about purity a lot for singles.
咁我哋咧提及到咧呢個嘅呢個保持呢個純潔咧，就喺呢個單身嘅時候啦，甚至乎拍拖嘅時候啦。
The purity isn't just limited to singlehood, single life.
係啦，咁就其實呢個
Or
題目唔係淨係會
singles or
喺單
dating.
身或者係喺拍拖嘅時候先至會用到嘅喎。
You need to stay pure whether you're single, in a relationship or married.
咁其實咧去到呢個去到呢個階段都一樣係要嘅。
Yeah, and I love what it says here in the study.
咁我就好中意呢個嘅呢個講嘅嘢啦。
Because if you maintain purity during your dating period, right, when you're in a relationship, just before you get engaged, you're still maintaining purity.
咁你如果你係喺拍拖嘅階段當中咧，你仍然係保持純潔啦。
Throughout your courtship, meaning throughout your entire relationship before you become husband and wife.
係啦，咁係保持住係呢個嘅心態裏面咧。
It says here it builds trust, security, and faithfulness that extends into your marriage.
咁係可以培育出一個信賴啦、安心同埋忠誠咧，係帶到呢個婚姻裏面。
So let's talk about purity. What are you guys? What's your definition of purity?
係啦，咁究竟呢個嘅純潔嘅意思對你哋嚟講係咩嘅意思嚟嘅咧？
As it relates to marriage, what does that
係啦，喺婚
mean?
姻裏面究竟係講緊啲乜嘢嘅嘢嚟咧？
Maybe to the guys first. What do you guys think
你覺得
purity
係
means?
你覺得係啲乜嘢嘅屬於咩嘅一個嘅講法嚟嘅咧？
It's a really good question, actually. When you were talking a bit about this, I was thinking, how do you define this for people? And then you asked the question.
其實呢個係個好好嘅問題就係咧，當 Cat 你一路講嘅時候咧，我都喺度諗其實純潔嘅定義係點樣咧？咁一諗完你就即刻問呢個問題啦。
I could be way off, but this is just what I've thought of in my head right now.
我可能離題嘅，不過呢個就正係我而家諗緊嘅嘢。
Sticking true to God's purpose for that thing.
就係
Whatever it
堅
is that
守
you
咧，就係無論嗰樣嘢
keeping
係咩
pure
都好啦。純潔嗰個定義就係你要去跟翻神一樣，神創造嗰樣嘢嗰個目的係乜嘢咧？你就堅守翻嗰樣嘢嘅目的咯。
Or doing something by God's design.
又或者你跟隨住神嘅設計同埋心意去做嗰一件事。
And then when
對待嗰樣嘢
applied to sexuality, that will be playing by His purposes for that part of our life.
咁當去到婚姻嗰度啦，咁婚姻上面嘅純潔，我會覺得係跟隨住神嗰個心意，好好咁樣去對待。
So not
神設計嗰個嘅目的咯，就係對婚姻上面。
not defiling that by doing something outside of God's design, which would make it impure.
就唔會係喺神嘅設計以外去沾污嗰一樣嘢咯，而係跟隨住神嘅心意咁樣去對待或者去享用嗰一樣嘢。
I don't know, that it's kind of hard to sum up, but
好似有少少抽象或者好難去總結係咪？不過呢個就係我嘅睇法。
David?
我覺得係我嘅睇法係我自己嘅感受就係呢個係一心一意嘅係愛我嘅太太啦。
So how I would probably define it or articulate it would be to wholeheartedly 一心一意好難。
專一咯。
To be
loyal.
專一。
completely loyal to one person.
係啦，即係我太太啦。
which is my wife.
係啦，因為可能咁講啦，男士同女士嘅嗰個被吸引嘅方式係唔一樣噶嘛。
Yeah, because what is attractive for a guy versus what attractive? What men find attractive is very different to how women find attractiveness to be defined as, right?
男士係一定係一個外表啦、look 啊好多呢啲嘅，呢個一定係嗰個嘅佢嗰個吸引嗰個嘅主要嘅嗰個方式。
We are attracted by sight, so we're visual beings, like we look at things.
女士咧係有啲唔同嘅，佢係會係有種嘅 feeling 嚟到係 attract 嘅，多數都係呢種嘅
Ladies are normally and typically probably more attracted by the emotional state, like emotionally connected.
所以對我嚟講，男士咁如果係拜西嘅時候，咁所以我哋就變咗喺睇嘢就要好小心咯，係咪？
Yeah. So if guys we are by makeup, purely because we're so visual, like sight driven, what we look at needs to be we need to exercise caution in that area.
係啦，因為就會影響到我哋嗰個嘅諗法嘅嘢，所有其他嘢啦，係咪先？
Because what we allow ourselves to see will impact our relationships.
係啦。
Yeah. Well, I asked that question in a cheeky way because it actually is very nicely defined in this blue book.
Is it? Can I just say that I think me and David took that question in totally different ways, and I'm not sure what way you meant. Because I was talking about purity, like pure heart, pure anything,
Right.
and then you applied it directly to marriage. So I think that's.
I think I meant it as in marriage, but I think you both, kind of back to back kind of hit different things, which was great because purity
We're both right. We're both right. We're both winners.
我哋兩個解釋嘅方式都係到另一個唔同嘅方法，咁但係都係講關於係嗰個嘅純潔嘅一種唔同嘅睇法啦。
But you guys articulated it beautifully. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
用得好好啦。
But I say that why I say it's cheeky is because in the blue book it has an amazing definition about purity. Like what does it mean?
呢度有解釋到啦，用咗另一個方法解釋咩叫做呢個嘅純潔啦。
It says in under tip number 3, it means you believe in each other to maintain good boundaries.
呢個喺第3個題目入邊嘅，佢話這代表彼此能了解正確嘅界線喺邊度啦。
And have confidence that when your spouse is tempted by someone outside the marriage, that he or she will be able to stand or find a way out of the
係啦，咁
temptation.
就當你呢個配偶除咗自己以外咧係受到其他嘅誘惑嘅時候咧，相信對方嘅，你也能相信對方能夠避開呢啲嘅誘惑。
Yeah. So let's talk about healthy boundaries between a male and a female in the context of a married person.
咁我哋可以講到關於呢個嘅我哋嘅界線啦。之前我哋成日都講過係界線呢樣嘢。咁究竟喺婚姻裏面嘅界線又係點樣咧
？In Chinese, there's a saying.
咁啊中文字有我哋有句成語咁講啦。
男女授受不親。
係啦，呢句成語就係男女授受不親呢個嘅成語啦。
Which is really basically saying
呢句説話。唔係成語嚟嘅。
唔係成語，oh sorry。
説話一個。
Male and a female can never be that close together.
咁其實係咯，就要頭先我句説。
Well.
Outside.
Not necessarily in the context.
No, in the context, not in the context of marriage. In the context of a friend, as friends, we should never be as that close together.
好似一個朋友嘅關係一樣，其實男女朋友關係咧，其實係唔可能會去到一個咁親密嘅關係㗎。
Yeah.
係啦。
Because usually there is an attraction. I'm saying generically, okay, but typically there is. If you think about when a male and a female get close together, there is a connection at some point.
咁因為咧男女喺埋一齊嘅時候有一種嘅好特殊嘅關係，其實會有一個互相嘅吸引力喺度嘅。
And in terms of being a married person, you don't want that emotional connection to be anyone else other than your spouse.
咁你唔想咧除咗係大家婚姻裏面咧有第三種嘅嗰種嘅感覺存在住㗎嘛，係咪先？
And so let's talk about healthy boundaries in that context.
所以我哋嘅自身嘅一個嘅結咗婚之後嘅一個界線咧，我哋都要清楚知道係乜嘢咯。
What do you guys think about this in terms of？
覺得係點樣係去解釋或者形容呢？
Yeah, just friends in getting close to a
朋友
to the opposite sex as a friend.
一個嘅異性嘅朋友，咁樣點樣去對待咧？
Because we all are surrounded by good friends who may be the opposite sex, right?
咁我哋都會有異性朋友喺身邊㗎嘛，冇可能冇㗎嘛，係咪？
But how close is close? Like, what is that boundary?
可以幾近咧，或者幾熟咧，或者幾好朋友咧？咁點樣去界定咧
？Let's talk about that for a sec.
What
do you guys think?
係咯。
I remember you talk about not putting doubt on your partner.
Right.
In your friendship, circle of friendship. Yeah.
When we were doing marriage prep, we were talking about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, but is that what you want to talk about?
No, that's good. I just couldn't remember. We've been talking about marriage so much. I didn't know whether we discussed that here.
Yeah. 我哋之前即係同做婚前輔導嘅時候都講過呢個嘅話題啦。咁其實咧就係話我哋唔想做一啲嘅嘢咧，會令到將個疑惑咧擺咗喺對方嗰個腦海裏邊嘅，令到即係做任何嘢令到對方會生起一個懷疑。
No, she provided it together.
Oh, I thought you explain it. Yeah.
She did English and Cantonese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what Jan's talking about is something I learned from Pastor Rod.
咁其實咧就係講緊一啲之前 Richard 都係從 Pastor Rod 嗰度學習到翻嚟嘅嘢啦。
And I think sometimes with couples, they may let's say I have a friend who's a female, and I spend some time with her, and I say, Janice, you should trust me.
係啦，譬如話我有個女性嘅朋友啦，咁我就同佢花啲時間喺度見面啦，咁我就會同 Janice 講啦 ，Janice 你應該信我。
Like I know Janice will trust me. I'm not going to do anything wrong. We're just friends.
係啊，我知道咧 Janice 你會咧信我㗎，我唔會做任何超越界線嘅嘢㗎。
And you can play that card like you can play that trust card, and they kind of can't really say anything because it's like if I say something, I don't trust him, or I appear jealous.
咁我可以成日咧出呢張黃牌卡嘅喎，因為咧我咁樣講咗之後咧 ，Janice 就唔敢出聲啦，因為當佢出聲嘅時候咧，就代表住 Janice 可能佢係妒忌啦，或者咧 Janice 佢係唔信我啦。
But like for me as a spouse, like why would I do anything intentionally that would put doubt in her heart?
但係對於我嚟講咧，就係作為一個先生啊，就係點解我會做一啲嘢去令到我太太去生疑咧，有個疑心喺度咧。
Like if this is the person that I care most about in the world, why would I make her feel bad, and then guilt trip her into not saying anything because she'd then appear jealous, just so I can hang out with someone else who doesn't mean as much to me as this person.
咁點解咧？我係對於我最着緊、最愛嗰個嘅太太啦，點解我要去對佢做呢樣嘢，係令到佢可能係唔敢出聲咧？即係無論佢心裏邊嘅感受係妒忌又好，或者係有一個即係會可能會有唔信任又好啦。點解要將佢擺喺嗰個位置嗰度，而為着一個只不過係一個朋友，佢嗰個朋友嘅地位遠係唔比得上我太太嘅。
So yes, it is your spouse's job to trust you.
咁所以冇錯啦，就係咧係你嘅另一半咧係應該去信你嘅。
But it's my job to not plant seeds of doubt.
但係咧，亦都係我自己嘅責任，就係唔好將嗰個懷疑嘅種子咧種喺太太對方嗰個心裏邊。
And I do that by living with clear boundaries.
咁呢個點樣去做出嚟咧？就係要有一個好清晰嘅界線喺一啲友情上面嘅關係咯。Yeah, even for business. Business is hard, right? Like it's hard to, 即係喺生意上可能係難啲啦，因為可能有陣時都會有一啲同客戶一對一同異性去見面嘅時間咯。咁但係可以就係make it very businessy, right? Like the way you interact with 對方，即係 OK 咁喺一啲無可避免單對單同異性相處嘅情況底下，其實係你要個無論你措辭啊、言語啊，或者你嘅舉動上面咧，你都要係保持一個一個適當嘅尺度同埋距離咯，係啦，唔可以越軌咯。
係咯。
Yeah.
我覺得仲有一樣嘢就係咧你而家講緊工作啦，係咪？咁其實朋友亦都係一樣。
Yeah, so we talk about this obviously professionally in the workplace.
Work 啊，係咪嗰啲避免唔到㗎？
Yeah, sometimes obviously you can't avoid it. If you have a client, you have a client. But I think it's more in terms of a friend, right?
好多人話我哋好朋友嚟㗎嘛。
Sometimes you say we're good friends.
係啦，我哋一齊可能一齊大啊，可能或者我哋識咗好多年啊，我哋好似
Yeah, like we grew up together. We've known each other for years.
即係我都試過阿 Cat 以前去嗰陣我哋拍拖啫，咁佢有個好好嘅有個朋友啦，係咪？
係咩？
係啊。
Oh. I remember when Cat and I were still dating, and Cat had a really good friend, a childhood friend.
係啦，咁樣就佢哋由細玩到大咁樣啦，咁都係咁就咁所以佢哋每次因為可能西方啦。佢哋一見面嗰陣咧就會擁抱啊，會攬啊咁，係咪？即係。
And because we are so Western, every time we see each other, we give each other hugs and like.
咁可能對佢嚟講可能冇問題，但係我見到我唔開心嘅喎，其實。
And so when I saw it, like to me, like to her, like to my wife, as in to me, it wasn't a big deal, but to him, David was saying he felt uncomfortable.
係啦，咁亦都因為開頭因為太太比較可能唔係咁明白呢種嘅思想嘅時候，咁佢覺得好似冇問題，但係後尾當我哋傾咗之後，咁我哋知道咧，其實係呢個係有可能亦有影響到關係啊。
Yeah, after talking to Kat, I kind of felt like it was she understood where I was coming from, whereas previously I didn't think it was a huge deal.
即係我想帶出嘅就係有陣時我哋可能會講出嗰個關係，只不過因為一個好熟悉或者好朋友，所以咧有陣時可能變咗冇 拘謹啊。
Yeah. Sometimes when you are good friends, we've known each other for years, maybe the boundaries are sometimes more relaxed than you realize.
但係對於一個更加重要喺個婚姻裏面嘅時候，所發出嘅有陣時一啲嘅警告啊，或者嘅 warning 咧，其實係會可以影響到咧。其實當中咧係會即係可能好簡單事情，對我嚟講都已經變咗一個可能我會導致我會 jealous 啊，或者唔開心嘅一種嘅諗法。
So if it's unresolved, if it's not discussed, things can blow out of proportion, especially in a marriage context, because I guess to your point earlier about planting like doubts, right? Like they let no room for doubts. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I've seen so many. I mean, professionally in the office, in different circles, guys will start sometimes confiding in the girls. 即係會開始講。
OK 喺工作方面啦，咁有陣時因為日日見嘅工作嘅可能嘅 partner 啦，咁可能會會傾慣咗、傾熟咗嘅時候，就開始慢慢更加去深入去傾偈啦。
Because think about it, you sometimes will spend more time in the office, at work than any other place.
係啦，咁你可能會你喺工作嗰個嘅時間對工作嘅人咧，仲多過可能會多過喺屋企都唔出奇㗎。
And I've seen it in front of my eyes how people can get close together.
咁我亦都見過，因為工作嘅關係咧，佢哋關係係可以更加係越熟絡啦。
Having dinner together every night.
可能甚至乎係會一齊食晚飯啊咁。
Yeah, and I've seen things like that happen, and I still remember one of my colleagues actually said to me.
咁仲記得有一次有個同事咁樣同我講。
She said he started confiding in me about his marriage.
咁佢開始咧同我話俾我聽關於佢自己婚姻裡面嘅問題喺邊度喎。
And I just asked her, did you continue? What did you do?
咁佢就問佢啊咁你有冇繼續好似好關心咁繼續係同佢問得好徹底咁樣追問啲嘢。
She said, no, I changed the topic.
咁佢就話我冇啊，我即刻就轉咗個題目啦，個話題啦。
And then she said, this is getting too close than I realized.
係啦，咁佢話因為我發現咧，我同佢關係咧唔單止係一個嘅同事關係，已經熟到咧可以講到好多其他心事。
And so I guess what I'm saying is sometimes you don't realize the closeness you're getting towards someone until it starts getting very emotional, or personal things start to come out and there's a connection.
係啦，因為你同佢嗰個好朋友又好，同事又好，其實當你哋傾心事嘅時候咧，因為異性嘅互相異性嘅關係咧，會令到中間會係好容易有產生咗一種嘅feeling 喺入邊嘅。
No, we're not saying you can't talk about stuff with your friends, right?
咁當然唔係話到你唔可以同你朋友分享啊，傾心事咁樣啦。
But pick the right people to have conversations with.
係啦，咁亦都係講到係，其實我哋需要選擇咧係揀一個合適嘅對象係去傾心事嘅。
Speak to, if it's about your marriage, speak to your leader.
咁如果關於嘅婚姻啦，咁你可以同翻你嘅領袖去講啦。
Speak to your pastor.
同你嘅牧師去講啦。
Speak to people who have good fruit.
咁亦都可以同一啲有生命當中結出果子嘅人去分享啦。
And just watch what comes out of your mouth. Are you honoring your husband or your wife by? Are you talking well of them? Speaking well of them.
咁亦都要留意翻你係咪同人哋背後講你老公或者老婆嘅壞話，都有時會有咁嘅事發生㗎。
Yeah. So I guess it's making sure that there is a trust there.
咁所以咧其實我哋要做一樣嘢就係咧係我哋大家互相係可以建立到一個信心喺互相嘅當中咯，建立信心。
That each person feels so secure about our relationship.
係啊，可以令到互相個關係咧，就算係我哋會係會繼續係可以維持到嗰個嘅信心喺裏面。
And this is why communication is so important, right?
咁所以係一個嘅溝通係好緊要啦。
It is like vital for a healthy relationship.
溝通其實就係一個嘅渠道咯。
Yeah.
同埋我覺得 如果喺個婚姻裏面你唔能夠同我哋嘅即係如果你個老公或者老婆唔係你嘅好朋友嘅話咧
I think also if your spouse is not your best friend, like, you know, one of your best friend in life.
即係因為我太太咧係一定係我最好朋友嘅，我
My
冇其他朋
wife,
友㗎。
my wife is my best friend.
係啊，我冇其他朋友㗎，所以我會想講嘅嘢係講翻俾你聽。
You have other friends.
係當然啦，我有
Like Richard.
What about me, David?
Yeah.
I thought we were close.
No.
係咯，咁但係即係我意思話係但係我最心底嘅心事咧，我係一定揾我太太係去傾訴嘅。
Yeah, but the things that I hold deep, like in my heart, things that I want to talk about, it's with my wife.
我自己覺得，如果我有啲嘢我要揾嗰個人講，但係我唔可以同太太講嘅時候，其實我自己覺得係有問題嘅。
Yeah.
You know, I have to talk to a person outside of a marriage. If I can't even talk about it with my wife, that is a signal that there is an issue.
係啦，而我絕對覺得係需要，我反而係同太太係咪應該有啲呢樣嘢需要係搞清楚先咧，係好好去傾一傾咧，咁樣。
Yeah, so obviously if it comes to that, there is something around communication that needs to be resolved in the marriage.
係咯。
Yeah. Well said, everyone.
It's good, guys. I've got
Very good.
Jeff and Maggie just doing public displays of affection over here.
見到咧 Jeff 同 Maggie 咧喺度輪流咁樣咧喺度晒恩愛啦。
Jeff's saying a good one here. Jeff says, I always talk about Maggie in my family with other colleagues. Make a clear statement. Let me get that up. Clear statement that I'm married. That's a great that's a great thing to do.
And wear your ring. Hey. Jeff 咧佢成日都會喺佢嘅同事面前咧會提及到太太 Maggie 啦，同埋佢嘅屋企嘅，咁令到大家都知道佢已經有家室㗎啦。
Hi, best friend Maggie. Jeff is my soulmate.
係啦。
Oh, sweetie. All right, guys.
Okay,
That's enough. That's enough, guys.
Maggie 同 Jeff 你哋好恩愛啊，好甜啊。
I love them.
That's good.
But I think it's a really good point Jeff made there, actually, because
Yeah, very good strategy.
Because if you are hiding the fact that you are married, there's a problem.
係啦，有一個好嘅提示啊 ，Jeff 頭先講到就係，如果你成日有意或者無意都好啦，你隱瞞你係結咗婚，其實呢個係一個問題。
Yeah, if you hide your ring, take your ring off when you're meeting someone, that's a problem.
係啊，即係你除咗個戒指嚟到開會，咁亦都係一個可能唔係咁好嘅一個嘅 signal 俾人啦。
And it's a good strategy to send a signal to someone who's giving you not good vibes.
Yeah.
To quickly put some distance between them. Like, just talk about your wife, how much you love her.
其實係好好嘅，要有策略性就係咧，當你 feel 到咧，即係感受到可能有個異性想同你接近，有一種唔尋常嘅一種嘅意識嘅時候咧，其實你就要轉一轉話題，即刻趕及你個太太啦，跟住灑走嗰個人喎，即係你要去保護翻你自己，同埋即係喺啲嘢越嚟越建立緊之前咧，你已經要咧疏散呢樣嘢啦，即係 dismiss 佢。
And I would also say that I've had some people who would defend this super close relationship they have with someone of the opposite gender, and really defend it. Like, you know, they've just been my best friend since you know, primary school.
我都有啲朋友啦，其實佢會好捍衞咧佢一啲同異性嘅友誼喎，即係譬如話我識咗依個異性咧係好耐㗎啦，即係由讀書細個已經識開㗎啦，其實我哋段關係係好珍貴同埋冇問題㗎，有個咁熟嘅異性嘅朋友。
And there may be nothing bad going on, like I'm not even saying that there has to be, but how does that make your wife feel or your husband feel? Like that's it.
其實你可能嗰段關係真係冇問題個，真係純友誼關係，但係你嘅另一半、你嘅太太或者你嘅先生，其實佢哋又會有啲咩嘅感受呢？知道你一個咁熟嘅異性朋友。
To me, so you might say, well, how do you even be friends with the opposite gender? It's really, really easy. You do it in groups, or you do it in couples.
你可能咧就喺度諗，咁我又點？我唔可以冇
very
異
natural.
性嘅朋友嘅喎。如果咁樣講，我係咪要冇晒異性朋友？其實唔係嘅，你可以喺一個群組嘅環境裏邊啊，即係一大班人咁樣去同一啲異性嘅朋友交往啦，或者係一 pair pair 咁樣咯，即係一對一對嘅情侶咁樣去交往咯，咁你咪可以有異性嘅朋友咯。
The truth is, in terms of friendship, like for me as a guy, I'm going to relate more to another guy naturally. There's a lot more in common than a female. Like there's like very little in common here.
如果齋講友誼嘅話咧，我作為一個男性，我覺得我能夠即係真係揾到一個真摯嘅友誼關係係同同性咯，即係同同性去建立咯，即係而唔係一定係要藉着去同異性先可以建立一個好真摯嘅友誼咯。
So I'd say build those relationships into your life, and when it's of the opposite gender, the context is just different. It's still you're still friends. It's not you can't be friends. Like don't take this to extremes. You can't talk to the opposite gender. How ridiculous. Like of course not.
咁我哋唔係我哋分享今晚嘅建議，其實唔係話你要去話做到好極端，就係唔可以同異性有半句嘅説話講，唔係咁樣嘅。我哋嘅建議其實就係話你係建立你一個友誼嘅即係建立個友誼係同同性去建立咯，最主要。咁當然你都可以同異性去傾偈啦，唔係話半句説話都唔講得咯。
The point is do the thing that builds your marriage. Just do that.
個重點咧就係你要做任何嘢可以係建立到你嘅婚姻嘅，可以建立到你婚姻嘅，你就做啦，因為你做完咧，呢個係你唔會後悔嘅決定嚟㗎。
Yeah, that's good. I think this is all about marriage should be a love triangle between God, have in the center, right? And then
咁我哋講到就係好似個關係啦，就好似三角形一樣啦，咁喺神係喺中間嘅。
That love triangle should never be another person.
唔會有其他人㗎嘛，係咪
？And that's where it gets complicated.
係啊，因為一多咗幾個人咁就好複雜㗎啦。
There's issues. We were going to talk about tip number 4, which was all about pornography.
咁亦都可能本來想講關於係一個色情刊物嘅一樣嘢啦。
But we probably end here in terms of time. This is one tip only.
係啦，我哋已經講一個 tips 都講咗成個課題啦，已經可以。
Yeah, but I think this is a huge topic because
係咯，因為呢個係真係一個都幾緊要嘅一個題目啦。
Yeah, it's not something we take lightly. We want people to have amazing marriages.
係啊，咁我哋都大家係一個好嘅婚姻啦，所以係呢個都可以今日講嘅呢個話題咧係。提議俾大家係可以係去諗一諗啦，去思考下。
Can I just add that even there will be scenarios that we haven't covered, okay?
咁當然係我想講話有陣時有啲嘅 case 裏面我哋可能提唔到嘅，或者係未碰到嘅。
You know, you might be like, what about my male cousin? You know?
或者係我嘅異性嘅表兄弟姊妹啊。
Or you know, what about like the boss who just treats me like a daughter, or
或者我嘅
好似老闆
契爺。
I don't know, just there will be scenarios that there is just so many like case by case.
當然係好多唔同嘅一啲嘅例子講。
Can I go into one case by case?
我可唔可以講一講其中一個？
Because I just thought of one, like, so we talked about how in the business context, like sometimes as a male you will need to meet a female client, like so do it in public, in a cafe, make it, a business meeting, there's a way to do that well.
咁講緊就譬如話喺商業上面啦，嗰個即係你難免你要去開會啊，或者你要同異性去獨處一齊傾啲嘢，咁你就譬如要揾一個公開嘅地方啦，即係譬如喺一個即係係公開嘅場合啊，就可能喺個咖啡店啊等等，咁樣去做一啲專業上面嘅一啲嘅一個即係去同對方去會面啦。
But if say you're a female and your boss comes and says, hey, we need to go on a business trip and we can share a hotel room, it's okay, separate beds, but we're sharing a room or something like that. Now, you might not feel comfortable with that, fair enough. Like, there's a point where you'd say no.
係啦，有個例子啊，就係譬如話你老闆啦，就係話我哋一齊要去公幹啊，咁跟住咧就我哋咧就係會係住埋喺同一個嘅酒店裏邊啦，同一間房啦，但係唔緊要㗎，我哋係分床瞓㗎咁樣，咁其實咧係啦，你一定要知道咧嗰個界線喺邊度，你要學習點樣去拒絕。就算係
anything you're feeling is like inappropriate, like you've got to get out of that situation. You even if it's business, like there's a line there. There's a definite line.
係嗰個原則性就係咧，如果你係自己唔舒服嘅咧，你就要出聲啦。即係就算係一個商業嘅社會或者交往裏邊啦，係一個僱傭嘅關係都好啦。
That may seem surprising or ridiculous to some people, but that stuff happens when you've got sometimes a creepy person with some management power.
聽上去好似好荒誕啊！點解會發生嘅？但係喺現實裏邊咧，其實可能發生咗呢啲嘅例子，當事人咧可能都唔會察覺嗰個危險性嘅喎，就係當中會有人係去使用佢哋嘅權力啦，去使到某啲嘅私心想要嘅嘢去得到嘅喎。
Can I just say, even if it's not in the same room, this actually happened to me. Mama, more.
Whoa.
No, in the same hotel, right? Business trip.
No. Not this scenario. Can I just say? But in a business setting, can I just add one scenario to that, and you have to be really careful about this one.
Go cat.
Yeah.
個事件想同大家分享。
It is when we're on business trips. You will be in separate hotel rooms, obviously, but then when you come back together. People may ask, what's your hotel room number, right?
咁有陣時可能會我哋係會有咩唔同嘅房啊，咁分開咗啦，係咪
？Yeah, and I there was one instance where like a guy just said, a male colleague whom I didn't know very well from another location.
係咁有一個嘅男同事咁，但係佢係喺另一個嘅department 咁啦。
喺另外一個國家，
係呢個國家
different country. And I just said, we'll just meet here in the reception area.
咁佢就話想喺房見啊，定係
He's like they were saying, let's go to different, like, you know, how about meeting in like your people's rooms to discuss things.
咁佢就話不如你房或者我房開會啊咁成。
Straight away, I was with another female and we said, no, we're going to be in the reception area. We'll see you here.
係啦，咁我哋話唔可以喺房開會嘅，我哋要喺翻個大堂啊，酒店大堂嗰度傾嘅。
Even though if that person's senior than you, do not feel like you have to succumn because
that's my point.
咁就算嗰個係你嘅上司都唔好介意，要 say no 喎，真係喎，唔可以要拒絕先得。
Like be willing to lose your job over it if it came to that. Like if they're gonna seriously.
Yeah.
Like there's a line that you just lose your job over.
係啊，如果佢真係有呢度情況去到呢個位嘅話咧，其實你都隨時要準備咧，去寧願唔要份工，你都要咧去做你認為啱嘅事情，去保護翻自己。
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff is just saying that reminds me in my industry, people go to bars after work on a business trip. It's very common. And look, not all bars are bad, but there are some ones that you should just say no to.
Yeah.
係阿 Jeff 咧，其實佢就話我哋呢個講開啦，就提醒咗佢喺佢嘅專業裏邊咧，其實同行啦，好多時候咧就放咗工就會去酒吧度傾偈啊，或者一齊去公幹嘅喎，出 trip 嘅喎。
I mean, going to bars is not a problem. It is actually knowing your boundaries.
係啦，咁其實去飲杯嘢咁唔係。
Not all bars are equal, you know.
係啦，你要睇下去邊類型嘅酒吧啦。要小心啊！
係線自己去邊度啦。
I mean, there's nothing wrong with going to have a glass of wine with your colleague.
Yeah.
當然
With colleagues.
Colleagues.
係啦，一紮嘅同事啊，飲嘢冇乜問題嘅。
你工作上係會有咁嘅需要啦。
That's absolutely fine, but do not I mean, don't do it if you don't know your limit.
係啦，咁但係如果唔知道自己嘅界線喺邊度，咁你就即係或者甚至乎可能會你唔飲得嘅，咁更加唔好係去做呢
I
樣
would
嘢
also
啦。
say just please let your spouse know where you are.
更加要通知到你嘅伴侶知道啦，你係去邊度會飲杯嘢啊咁樣咯。
Yeah. Or
And
that you are.
Some people may be thinking, "Whoa, that's so extreme. Why would I let my spouse know where they are? Like they should trust me." It's like, yeah, but this builds
It's the
trust.
same thing again. Yeah. So 可能有啲人話：哇，咁極端嘅，使唔使咁誇張咧？去到邊度都要同太太或者老公報到。咁但係其實唔係嘅，係講緊你要去建立婚姻裏邊大家對大家嘅信任啊嘛，係咪？
係啦。
Yeah. Well, let's call it a night. But
係
Yeah.
咯，差唔多啦，今晚時間又。
yeah, there's so much to talk about in relationships.
所以係咪其實喺呢個關係上面，我哋可以好多嘢去傾好講啦。
I think next week we will probably talk about tip 4 and
係啦，咁
5.
我哋下個星期就再講4同5啦。
Yeah, because this is actually a topic that I think we should definitely cover.
咁又係一啲我哋可以講嘅題目啦。
Yeah. Who wants to pray?
我哋可以禱告嘅時候，邊個禱告咧？
我可以禱告。Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright，感謝神，即係今日俾我哋咧有一個好好嘅智慧上面嘅分享。神啊，即係感謝你喺你裏邊咧，知道我哋可以有個盼望係可以建立到美滿嘅婚姻。一個婚姻係喺你裏邊係做一個嘅三角形，係冇任何第三者嘅進入。神啊，願你幫助睇緊我哋嘅 couple 去建立呢個嘅信任，係幫助佢哋去定睛於你，係去追求你嘅智慧喺建立佢哋嘅婚姻上面，亦都靠你啦，俾我哋智慧啦，去做一啲喺唔同嘅情況底下做出一啲勇敢嘅決定，係知道咧我哋係另一半係我哋生命嘅唯一，係別無他人，而我哋係睇到嗰個重要性，而會係做一個好明智嘅決定嘅。神啊，亦都係無論我哋睇緊我哋嘅朋友，佢哋係咩嘅關係上面嘅階段，求你繼續帶引佢哋去走出一個美滿嘅關係，奉主耶穌基督嘅名字祈求，阿門。
阿門。
Amen.
Yay. Amen.
Amen.
Awesome.
Great. Well,
Well-
always fun to chat.
係咯，
Yep.
好玩，係咪？
Next week, part 6.
下個禮拜第6部分。
And everyone, come and join us on Sunday. Hear the big news, exciting news at either one of our services, 9:30, 11:30. It's going to be good.
同埋各位朋友啊，就今個禮拜日啦，記住咧喺9點半又好，11點半又好啦，記住留意咧我哋嘅線上嘅崇拜咯喎，因為我哋會有咧又大又興奮嘅事情咧，將會去宣佈嘅。
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching.
多謝大家收睇我
Thanks
哋。
David and Kat.
多
See
謝
you
David 同
guys.
Kat。OK，拜拜。
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.